Welcome to Flipped Classroom. Our topic is statistics and we are looking at interpreting data. Our learning intention is that we are learning about the reading of graphs and tables. And our success criteria is I am successful when I can interpret column graphs, line graphs, and pie charts, and I can interpret data represented in a table. So graphs can represent data in various ways. And there are lots of different graphs. Some of these graphs include column graphs, pie charts, divided bar graphs, and line graphs. On the left there we have a linear line graph because it's a straight line, and on the right we have a non-linear graph because it's going up and down. Each of the graphs has an advantage and disadvantage for the data it is showing. So here I've got a worked example. The following table shows the population of some towns over 10 years. You can see the names of the towns across the top and the years down the side. So I've got 2006, 2011, and 2016. We're going to be looking at these 5 questions. On the left-hand side, I am putting my thinking, and on the right-hand side, I'm writing down what I will show my teacher so they see my understanding for these questions. So the first question is, what is the population of Bulla in 2006? So my thinking is I will look in the column for Bulla and I'll look at the row 2006, and where they intersect, 398 is the number I need to write down, but I'll write it down as a sentence. So I'll write Bulla has a population of 398 in 2006. This shows the teacher that I understand what the question is asking. For question B, what is the population of Venus Bay in 2016? I will do the same thing. So I'll look at the column for Venus Bay. I'll look at the row for 2016, and I will see that number is 937. So I'm going to write down Venus Bay had a population of 937 in 2016. Our last question is, what is the population of Halls Gap in 2011? So again, I will look at the column for Halls Gap. I will look at the row for 2011. I'll find that intersection, and that is 305. So I'll write down Halls Gap had a population of 305 in 2011. For question D, we are looking at what towns did the population decrease over the 10 years. So I'm going to look at each town and look at the 2006 and 2016 data, and I'll see which one has a smaller 2016 compared to 2006. I can see that Bulla has 370 people in 2016, but 398 in 2006. So I can see that they've decreased. So I will write down that Bulla decreased its population from 2006 to 2016. The last question is, which towns did the population increase over the 10 years? Again, I will look at each town and see their 2006 data to 2016, and I notice that both Venus Bay and Halls Gap increased because their numbers in 2006 are smaller than 2016. So I will write down that Venus Bay and Halls Gap increased in population from 2006 to 2016. Now here's a worked example for a column graph. Now the column graph represents the annual income of 5 different people, and I can see that each person there has their own column, and I can see that the incomes are written up the left hand side. So underneath I will do my thinking again and my writing so that the teacher can understand what I know of this problem. So the first question is, what is Elvin's annual income? So I'm going to look at the column for Elvin and then read the number that represents his income off the axis. And I will write down Elvin earns $60,000 per year. Now I have to make sure that I put the units in because I am answering what the question is. If you just wrote 60,000, it would be wrong. The next question is, what's the difference between David's and Fred's income? So I'm going to look at David's income and I can see that it's $80,000. And then I'm going to subtract it from Fred's income because he's got $100,000. And when I do that, I find out that the difference is $20,000. So I will write down that the difference between David's and Fred's income is $20,000. And again, I've written those units in there because we are talking about money here. And the last question is who earned the most? So I'm going to find the tallest column and then read the name at the bottom of that column. So I can see out of the 5 columns, the very last yellow column is the tallest at $100,000. And we already know that that's Fred's income. So I will write down that Fred earns the most per year. So our reflection is, where do we use tables in our daily lives? Tables are used quite often in different areas of our lives. As always, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more maths videos.